Ever looked at your car tax bill and just felt completely lost? If so, you've definitely come to the right place. We're going to get you completely up to speed on one of the most confusing parts of owning a car. And look, if you find this whole thing a bit of a headache, you are not alone. Turns out a massive 62% of UK drivers are just as confused by all the recent changes. That's the majority of people on the road right now. So, to cut right through all that confusion, we've brought in the heavy hitters. This entire guide was put together by the tax experts over at Pro Tax Accountant. They're a top-tier UK firm, and together we're going to make sense of exactly how your car tax is worked out for the 2025-26 tax year. All right, so here's what we've got on the cards. We'll start with the basics, then break down the 3 things that actually decide your bill. We'll look at the rules for new cars, the big shake-up for electric vehicles, and what it all means for older cars too. We'll wrap it up with the key numbers you really need to remember. Okay, let's get straight into it. First things first, what on earth is car tax anyway? Well, the official fancy name is Vehicle Excise Duty, or VED. Most of us just call it car tax or road tax. It's basically the annual fee you pay to use your car on public roads. But here's the thing, it's not one price for everyone. The amount you pay is calculated based on some really specific things about your car. So, how do they figure out what you owe? It actually all boils down to just 3 key pieces of the puzzle. Right, these are the big 3. First up, the date your car was first registered. This is super important because it slots your car into a whole different set of tax rolls. Second, it's CO₂ emissions, the environmental bit. And third, what was its original list price when it was brand new? You can think of that as a sort of luxury tax. Get these 3 things and you've basically got your answer. Okay, let's talk about modern cars. We're talking about pretty much anything registered after April 1st, 2017. If that's your car, the system is a bit of a 2-step process. So, for the very first year of a new car's life, you pay what's known as the showroom tax, and it's all based on a sliding scale of CO₂ emissions. As you can see, for the cleanest cars, it's pretty low. But, and this is a big but, for the least environmentally friendly cars, the ones pumping out over 255 grams per kilometre, that first-year bill is a whopping £5,490. Ouch. But after that first year, everything changes. From year 2, most cars just pay a flat, standard rate. For 2025-26, that's £195. Simple, right? Well, not quite. If your car's original list price was over £40,000, you get hit with an extra charge. It's called the expensive car supplement, and it adds another £425 to your bill each year. And that's not all. Here's where most people go wrong. That £425 supplement isn't forever. You have to pay it for 5 years straight, from the 2nd year of the car's registration all the way to its 6th. So for those 5 years, your annual bill isn't £195. It's a much bigger $620. A real pro tip to keep in mind. Stay with me now, because this next part is a huge change, and it might just surprise you. Starting in April 2025, the game has completely changed for electric cars. The era of free tax, it's officially over. Yep, you heard that right. That lovely £0 tax bill for new electric vehicles is now a thing of the past. New EVs pay a tenner for their first year. After that, they jump to the same £195 standard rate as everyone else. And yes, that expensive car supplement applies to them too. But, and this is a key difference, for EVs, that extra charge only kicks in if the car's list price was over £50,000, not £40,000. So they get a slightly higher threshold. And if we look even further into the future, another big change is already on the horizon. From April 2028, a totally new system called EVED is coming in. It's a pay-per-mile tax. Fully electric cars will be charged 3p for every mile they drive, and plug-in hybrids will pay 1.5p per mile. And that's going to be on top of their normal VED. Okay, but what if you're not driving a brand new car? What if your car is a bit older, registered before April 2017? Well, then you're playing by a completely different set of rules. It all depends on exactly how old your car is. So, for any car registered between March 2001 and March 2017, it's all about CO₂ emission bands, which are graded from A to M. Now, it used to be that if your car was in Band A, you paid nothing. That's gone. Now, even the cleanest cars from that period have to pay £20 a year. And as you go up the bands, that price climbs pretty steeply, all the way to £760 for the highest polluters. And what about really old cars? I'm talking pre-March 2001. For these, the system is dead simple. They don't care about CO2 at all. It's just about engine size. Two brackets. If your engine is under 1549cc, you pay £220 a year. If it's over that, it's £360. That's it. But here's a fun fact, a little did you know for you. If your car was actually built more than 40 years ago, it qualifies as a historic vehicle. And you know what that means? It's completely exempt from VED. And what's really cool is that this is a rolling 40-year rule. So every single year, a whole new batch of classic cars becomes tax-free. Whew, we have covered a lot. So let's take a breath and pull everything together. Here's a quick summary of the most important numbers you need to know. All right, here's your 2025/26 cheat sheet. The standard rate for most cars is £195. That expensive car supplement is an extra £425. For electric cars, that luxury threshold is £50,000. For the oldest cars, you're looking at either £220 or £360. And that magic number for tax-free historic status? 40 years. Okay, let's make this real. Imagine a freelancer in London. They're buying a brand new electric car and its list price is £55,000. In their first year, the tax is just £10. But because that car is over the £50,000 EV threshold for the next 5 years, their annual tax bill will be a combination of the standard rate plus the supplement, a grand total of £620. That's a huge jump. Now, it's really important to say this. Think of this information as a guide to get you started. It's for general guidance. Tax laws are complicated and they can change, so this should never be the only thing you use to make a big financial decision. So, this leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you know the rules, how does your own car stack up? Does your current car tax actually make financial sense for you? Look, before you make any decisions, whether you're buying a new car or just trying to manage your finances, you really must talk to an expert. The specialists at Pro Tax Accountant, who helped us put this whole thing together, can give you that tailored expert advice on car tax or any other tax questions you might have. You can get in touch with them directly on WhatsApp, phone, or by email.